Hey, what's happening everybody? Sean Kitzman from Sustainable Massage Practices. In today's video, I want to talk about networking and how to do it well. In our last video, we talked quite a bit about networking and its importance. I also want to talk about how to network and some common mistakes that people make when they first start networking. A couple big no-nos. And I'll give you a story. My wife last weekend was at an expo, and the practice that she's in, my wife is a nurse midwife here in Minnesota, and the practice that she's in had a table or a booth at the expo, and she had another healthcare professional. Well, it was a personal trainer. Walk up to them. And there was another nurse midwife there as well. And I guess she had spoken, this trainer, had spoken to the nurse midwife last year. And she said, oh, well, I talked to you last year. I never heard from you. And then she gave my wife info, and she proceeded to dump information on her verbally. And then said to my wife, I expect to get referrals from you. Well, this isn't how that works. That's an awful method, by the way. Like, that's bullshit. And here's why it's a problem. We have to understand as allied or alternative healthcare practitioners, or as the kind of outside of the norm hub of the healthcare practice here in the States, and most of the industrialized world as well, but here in the States specifically, we are typically the second, third, or 95th option. And when you approach a healthcare practitioner, who happens to also do more volume than you do, it behooves you to not expect anything from them, and also maybe you might want to do something for them before they do something for you. And I talked about this in a previous video as well, where I went down to I went to a running store, and I said that I was going to offer all of the employees 3 free sessions on me. And I do that to people who are of influence. If you want someone who is of influence to actually, for you to gain some credibility with them, maybe you should actually do something for them. They shouldn't do anything for you. You should overvalue their relationship so much, and you should over-provide that it is a compulsion that they start to do something for you, because that's a good part of a relationship. It's kind of like dating, right? So as a guy, when I would go out on dates, I understood that there was a series of things that happened before we kind of closed the deal, right? If I was looking for a good relationship, that's kind of another critical component. And on the first date, closing the deal wasn't really even something that I even attempted or thought about, because it was just kind of the courteous thing to do. So when you're networking, you want it to be the same way. You need to create relationships with networking. Networking isn't one and done. And if it is, it typically doesn't create sustainable relationships between you. It's like, oh, I'm going to pass you a referral and that's it. No, it needs to be done over, weeks, months, days, years, and not just a one-time event. So be really careful with that. And also, one of the things Tom Callis, one of my martial arts mentors, talks about is you want to put them in a position where they can't say no. They can only say yes. And when you go out of your way to help them, and I mean altruistically, if they don't return the favor, that's fine. But if you really value their service, you're going to get something eventually out of helping them. Maybe it's just helping them. Maybe it's just tipping a client or a group of people off that to another practitioner or another provider that is high quality. Even if they don't reciprocate, that ups your game with your client or that group of people, right? It ups your game. They go, man, Sean knows what he's talking about. Or man, so-and-so knows what he's talking about. So you need to think about it as a long-term relationship and not something that is transactional. One of the things again, back to dating again, you have people who are after the conquest, right? Or you have people who are after connection. And it's so easy when you put money involved to go after conquest and not connection. And you have to have that idea of, I'm going to create a relationship over a period of time because I want to get referrals from that person 5 years down the road. That's my goal. When I go in and I talk to somebody and I'm really seriously after them as a networking person and a referral partner and maybe even part of a power team, I'm after the long haul. I'm after a 10-year relationship. So that if I don't get anything from them right away, I don't care, because I know sometimes that people need to be dripped on. They need a number of times before they actually figure out that you're credible. I also don't think that you need to chase people around for long periods of time, right? But if it's a high value target, you might want to. Someone that's really, really has good credibility and has a group of people that you're after, you might need to take a little while. So, point of this video is, when you're out networking, don't drop cards or brochures or whatever you have on somebody and expect something to happen from them expect something from them right away. Be a freaking human about it and create a relationship. And create a relationship that sustains itself over the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. I promise you, it will pay dividends farther down the road than any short-term transaction that you can make. All right, I'm off to jiu-jitsu. Hopefully I don't get another one of these today. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. And remember, practice makes improvement.